this edition of ATV News.
You're desperately being misled.
With the conflict in Ukraine, we'll show you how to recognize lies being spread on social media.
Doing taxes, probably not what most people have planned for Friday.
We'll show you how USU students can get their taxes done for free.
And I settled on the trike design.
We'll show you why this trike could save people money and their shoulders.
Roses are red and Aggies are blue. The men's senior night game wasn't all boo-hoo.
It's the hottest day of the year so far. I'll show you if temps will go up or back down in weather.
All that and more, this is ATV News. This is the damage at Ukraine's Karizin National University of Kharkiv. Now, this is one example of Russia's continued attacks on Ukrainian cities. Today is the 7th day of the invasion. In response, global organizations like FIFA have made changes affecting Russia. Ahead of this year's World Cup in Qatar, FIFA suspended the Russian national team from all competitions. They were scheduled to play World Cup qualifier March 24th. Smaller businesses like Universal Yums are providing alternate options for customers if they don't want Russian goods. The crisis hits close to home for Max Shulga, a Ukrainian point guard on USU's men's basketball team.
Mixed emotions. When I'm calling my parents, I'm happy to see them, but at the same time I know there's other people and relatives of just random people just dying out there fighting for our country.
To show support to Ukrainian students like Shulga and the country as a whole, the university lit the A blue Monday night. Welcome to ATV News. I'm Sarah Murphy.
And I'm Emma Fates. Videos like the ones you just saw are probably all over your social media. But how do you know what you're seeing is accurate? Yvonne Bass joins us live from the Haight Alumni Center at a lecture for understanding media surrounding Ukraine.
Thanks, Emma. Yeah, I'm here at the Haight Alumni Center, and I'm whispering because we're in the middle of a lecture. As you can see, there's a lot of people here. It's a full house. I spoke with one of the lecturers beforehand, and he told me how to sift through the news.
Videos like these are bombarding social media. Some are real, some, including this one, are not. This video was shared on several platforms by multiple sources claiming it was a Russian airstrike on Ukraine. News Checker says it's from a Russian holiday in 2020.
Part of the Russian playbook was they called disinformation.
This video is another example of disinformation spreading. News Checker says it's from 2017 and unrelated to the current events. Political scientists say videos like these are being used to intimidate and manipulate.
The Russian media is trying very hard to paint a rosy picture of the invasion and a dismal picture of the Ukrainian resistance.
Then there's this video, which is proven to be current and accurate. So how do we tell the difference?
You need to slow roll your news consumption, take it little by little, rely on organizations that have boots on the ground in Ukraine right now, in Eastern Europe, reporters who are seeing this firsthand. Stay away from talking heads and Twitter hot takes, and understand that everything that you do read and see, even from credible sources, is one small piece of a changing picture.
Journalists like myself follow a code of ethics. We promise to seek truth and report it. Experts say sometimes credible sources fall short, especially during what soldiers call the fog of war, which is
the difficulty of getting accurate information at a time in which bullets are flying.
Even the military people don't know everything they need to know.
LaPlante says trying to stay accurately informed can be difficult, but information is at our fingertips. News and current events are a click away. LaPlante says if you don't try,
you have not done due diligence to understanding the situation. or to even building your own opinions about what the situation is and means in the context of global history right now.
Sharp says we can start by being aware of what is happening in our neighborhood. He says being uninformed leads to defeat and retreat.
We want a free and vigorous press, a free and vigorous exchange of information. That's the only way to go forward in an uncertain world.
Right now, we're talking about how what's happening in Ukraine is affecting different parts of the world. LaPlante says what's happening in Ukraine will continue to affect us here in Utah. And, well, we'll go back to you at the desk, Emma. Thank you.
Thanks, Yvonne.
And now for an update on COVID numbers. As of this morning, the Utah Department of Health reports over 920,000 cases in Utah, more than 33,000 hospitalizations, and more than 4,400 deaths due to COVID. In the Bear River Health District, there have been more than 51,000 total cases, almost 2,000 hospitalizations, and 224 deaths. As of this morning, Utah State University says there are over 166 active cases among students, staff, and faculty, which is down 190 cases from the week before. This brings the case total to 6,750, and that brings USU's new 7-day average to 3.1.
You have to file taxes every year. One organization is trying to make that easier for people with low incomes. Students lined up to get tax help from the USU chapter, the Volunteer Income Tax Association. Accounting students supervised by professors file taxes for fellow Aggies for free. They say it's helpful for people who may be doing taxes themselves for the first time.
There's a lot of people, especially college age, who have no idea what taxes are beyond government wanting money. So it's good to have at least some experts on hand.
Used the program the last 3 years.
I'm just really grateful it's here. It has been super nice. And like I said, it's helpful to me and to those students that are doing it.
VITA will hold 4 more sessions at USU this tax season. We put a link to their website on our Facebook page.
USU main and statewide election results are in. Eric Folks is your new Logan Vice President. He won 100% of the votes unopposed. Ryder Sasser is Athletics and Campus Rec Executive Director, winning 62% of the votes. Noah Ivaga is your new Diversity and Organizations Executive Director. He won 59% of votes. And Dakota Oldham is a Students Event Executive Director, winning just over 55% of votes. For your statewide vice presidents, Sophie Crompton won at the Eastern Campus. The new Blanding VP is Hunter Warren. In Moab, Jamie Reedhead won. And in Southwest, Sherry Callister is the new VP. In Tooele, Julie Andrews won. Lindsay Cook won in Uinta Basin. Natoya Chung is the new VP at Wasatch. And Jasmine Sorensen won in Brigham City.
A new type of trike, 5 years in the making, is almost complete. And the design could change how some people get around. I caught up with a man behind this new trike to find out what makes it so special. Chains roll on normal bikes, but this isn't any bike. It's a trike made for paraplegics.
So anyway, that's the steering.
Greg Salustad says he created the trike to be easier on the shoulders.
I wanted to design a trike that did not hurt the person using it. And so this is actually a bench press movement.
While this neighbor demonstrating the trike isn't the intended user, the Salustads say they've seen the reactions of those who are.
And what's really cool is to watch that person, the person that can't use their legs, it's just like it gave them excitement to see it and to realize they could do that.
The steering, the gearing,
That's very high. Okay.
and the cost are all designed to be better than other trikes, Salustad says.
With all the gearing that they add to it, like I said, it was $2,300. That's all been taken out, and it's been replaced with a $110 group of parts that were made here.
Now, this bike, Salustad says, had to take a couple of steps back after he suffered a couple of strokes. He says he might not even be able to finish the whole thing. but he says his ultimate goal is that someone else will buy the bike and that they will keep it moving forward.
And the ultimate is just to share it, just to have people use it.
It would just be the coolest thing to drive down the road and go, oh, look, there's the trike you invented, you know, and that person's having a great time.
Now, Sally says he has 1 patent on the trike already, and some parts of the bike were blurred out in that video because he's in the process of getting 3 more. And coming up,
and so this is kind of a creative outlet for us.
Whatever floats your boat is a common saying, but can it be cardboard and duct tape?
And this sport is sweeping locals off their feet and into the ice rink. We'll show you more from Learn to Curl Night.
Coming up, Leah Crishoni will have the 7-day forecast. The current temperature is 52 degrees.
Listen, you're my friend.
I noticed you haven't really been yourself recently.
Yeah, I feel like something's up.
How are you?
Are you okay?
Is there anything you want to talk about?
I just want to know how you're feeling.
And listen, even if you don't know what to say, I'm here to talk.
No matter what you're going through,
I just want you to know I'm here.
I've got your back. When you want to talk, I'm here.
Welcome back to ATV News. Now, what could you make with cardboard and duct tape? Kayla Peterson shows you what the College of Engineering built.
Duct tape, cardboard, and fitting at least 2 people are the rules of constructing a boat.
And it turned out to be pretty stable. We just made sure that it was really well reinforced, wasn't going to fall apart in the water. I think it kind of gets to our character. We like to have fun and we like to be creative. And so this is kind of a creative outlet for us.
This was the idea. Cardboard and duct tape. These are the ideas come to life. Now the real question is, does cardboard and duct tape really float?
3, 2, 1, go!
Competitors had to race down to one side of the pool by only using their hands to paddle, touch the wall, and make it to the other side of the pool.
Just seeing students race and seeing their creativity building these boats. Students learn and they are able to apply what they've learned outside the classroom, and it really shows based off of their boat skills, and it's great.
2, 1, go!
Despite tipping over in the beginning, the racers of the rocket ship say they did
surprisingly well. Our fluids professor thought it was going to sink, and it didn't, so that's a win. It's so much fun. Just now we just finished how many people they can fit in a boat, and they fit 8 people in the cardboard boat.
Kayla Peterson, ATV News.
The College of Engineering says anyone can be an engineer with cardboard and a little bit of duct tape.
The sun was shining bright enough to play spike ball on the quad on Monday, and that hasn't happened in a few weeks. We saw that sun again today this morning as squirrels were roaming around campus and students were walking to class. Welcome to ATV Weather. I'm Leah Crishoni. Now we know that Utah was sunny and warm, but let's take a look at what the rest of the country looks like. So we can see here in the northwestern part of the country, we got some storms going on, and those storms are going to be moving west and eventually hitting our state of Utah. Now on the other side of the country, we are also seeing some storms, and those ones are also going to be moving as well. So let's take a look at Utah. So right now our state is pretty clear. There's not much going on. But like I said, those storms are going to be moving west into our state, and we will be seeing those later in the week. So let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. So starting off today was bright and warm with a high of 52, and tomorrow is going to be even warmer with a high of 56. But we have to come down at some point, right? On Friday, we are going to be cooling down with a 30% chance of rain. If you are traveling for spring break, be aware of the wet conditions, and it could affect your travel time and flights. On Saturday, we are also going to be cooling down even more with a 70% chance of snow. I bet you all thought that we were done with snow. I definitely did. And on Sunday, we are going to see some of that snow as well, and it's going to be cooling down a little bit more. But as we go through to the beginning of the next week and into spring break, we are going to be seeing those temperatures rise a little bit more. And hopefully as we go through the week of spring break, we can see those higher temperatures so that way we can have a warm and fun spring break. You were all caught up on weather. Back at the desk, Sarah.
Thanks, Leah. Now, with the Olympics having just finished up, what Olympic sport would you like to learn for next time? Kainoa Johnson shows us how people all over the valley are brushing up on their curling skills.
If this throwing and sweeping doesn't look professional to you, it's because on this night, the ice was full of first-timers.
People at Cache Valley that never tried curling, maybe have seen it in the Olympics, they can come out and try it out, throw some stones, learn the game, maybe join the leagues that's starting next week. So that's what tonight's all about.
The Eccles Ice Center and Cache Valley Stone Society hosted Learn to Curl Night to bring together the community and learn about the sport.
We come and we volunteer our time and just show the community what to do. There's a small fee, and that's basically to pay for ice time. And if there's anything left over, we use it to pay for equipment.
Now, curling isn't quite as easy as it seems. I'm really struggling here, but I'm gonna give it my best go and we're gonna see how it goes. But this is an awesome event, the people here are great, and it's all around so much fun.
Woo! With over 100 rookie curlers, event coordinators say, with help from the Olympics, this night drew one of the largest crowds they've seen.
It's like ups and downs. We have like years where nobody cares and then years where everybody cares, and this is a year where everybody cares. And it's odd because COVID just killed us for 2 years, right? So it's good to be back though. It's fun.
Kainoa Johnson, ATV News.
You can find a link for future curling events and league tournaments on our Facebook page. And coming up in sports, Annika Johns shows you how much time was left on the clock when this point was made.
And the best part of all, we're doing it in person.
And why the Princess Party is better indoors.
Can you consent with me? Imagine what you'd see if every child had a book to read. 'Cause every kid across the you've been told by kids with books learn so much more. So the mission is for us to get a book to each and every child. So let's join hands, book people unite, unearth hidden passion. Come on, have a good time. Planting seeds of inspiration to motivate some magic. To change the writing on the wall, writing on the wall. One book can make a difference. One book can inspire a child. One book can be the first thing that helps to change a life. People unite.
Read to a child today and spark a lifetime of ambition.
The surplus store. Someone's trash is about to be my treasure.
We have cords and cables here. We have bags full of towels and sheets. Do you want this fold-up mattress? Because we don't.
We got keyboards, paint cans, whatever this is, typewriters, computer monitors.
It's destiny on the line, and we want you at surplus.
Products are not guaranteed to work. All sales are final. This commercial is not endorsed by Utah State.
Welcome to ATV Sports Matchmaker. I'm your host, Annika Johns. Now, I know February just ended, but for those who didn't celebrate the month of love, this one's for you. Today, we're going to be matching our USU sports teams with others in the Mountain West and see if any sparks fly. I have a few roses here for the winning teams, so let's get started. Our first match of the night is between men's basketball and the Rams from Colorado State. Their date started off with the Rams taking possession of the ball, but don't you worry, the Aggies were able to get some action thanks to this steal from senior Brock Miller, who quickly dribbles the ball down the court before side passing it to fellow senior RJ Adelrock for a three-point shot. Adelrock has only been with the Aggies for this season after following Coach Odom from the University of Maryland, Baltimore County, but Adelrock has surely made his mark this season with a total of 230 points. Adelrock isn't the only senior from UMBC, however. Brandon Horvath also followed Coach Odom to USU and is finishing up his senior year with a total of 406 points scored this season. Now, while we're on the topic of our men's basketball seniors, we have to talk about the one and only Justin Bean, who flirted with a few of Colorado's players here before putting the ball into the basket. Bean has been on the team since 2017 and was a walk-on. Since then, Bean has made USU history by being the first Aggie in 40 years to average a double-double, giving him the appropriate nickname of Mr. Double-Double. And we can't talk about nicknames without mentioning USU's own Mr. Clean, who scored this three-point shot before giving his teammate a loving hug. Brock Miller also started in 2017, where he averaged 6.8 points per game. Now, in his senior year, he is averaging 8.1 points per game. Now, don't get me wrong, we love our seniors, but some of the younger players made their own moves against Colorado State. Sean Bairstow came in with this "steal your girl" sidestep before running down the court and making this two-point shot. Stephen Ashworth, taking after Will Smith, went the 90 before going the 10 and came in hot, putting the ball into the basket for 2 more points. And USU's own student section showed some love to sophomore Max Shulga by creating the flag of his home country, Ukraine, in support of the growing conflict in the East. Now, Colorado did make a few of their own moves. Number 13, Chandler Jacobs, passes the ball in front of Horvath to number 4, Isaiah Stevens, who gets the ball in the net. Later in the game, Colorado's David Rohde got past the Aggie defense and made another 2 points. Now, despite all the back-to-back flirting from both teams, the Rams beat the Aggies 66-55, and I honestly don't think the Aggies are wanting another date. Our next date of the night is between women's basketball and the Nevada Wolfpack. The ladies made the first move, passing the ball to Caitlin Rendawa, who shoots and scores a 3. Senior Adriana Quezada gave Nevada the cold shoulder with this 2-point shot. By the end of the night, Quezada had scored a total of 18 points, keeping her in the lead for most points scored this season with a total of 361 points. But the star of the night was senior Mana Menza, who in double overtime drove the ball down the court and scored this 2-point shot with 0.9 seconds left on the clock. Let's take a look at that shot one more time. And yes, number 2, Deja Hamilton, I'd be in shock too after seeing a shot like that. Nevada tried to take a half-court shot in a last-ditch effort to overcome the Aggies, but the ball bounced off the backboard. The Aggies took home the win with a score of 82-80. Women's basketball has their second date with Fresno State tonight in the Spectrum. Gymnastics had a double date with BYU and Towson University. USU started off on vault with Rebecca Wells and Trinity Brown taking first with a score of 9.850. On the second rotation, the Aggies moved to bars, where the team's overall score was 48.95. Wells led the Aggies on beam with a score of 9.925, and finishing out the meet, USU scored a total of 49.250 on floor. And while this was senior night, junior Rebecca Wells stole the show, winning the all-around with a total score of 39.475. However, the Aggies did end up losing to BYU, but took home second place with Towson in third. But the Aggies weren't quite finished with Towson University, though. The two teams met up once again in the Spectrum for some alone time. Looking pretty in pink, the Aggies started on vault with Molly Arnold and Trinity Brown taking home first after sticking the landing. Moving to bars, Rebecca Wells, Eve Jackson, and Maya Fishwick tied for first with a score of 9.850. On beam, 4 Aggies placed in the top 4, with Bree Clark leading them with a 9.875. And wrapping it all up on floor, Bree Clark took home first after smashing her round-off backhand spring 2.5 twist straight to a punch front tuck. And by the end of the night, the Aggies scored a total of 196.725, making this score the best score in USU history. Softball traveled to Santa Clara, California this week to compete in the Silicon Valley Classic. The team took home 3 wins against Sacramento State, St. Mary's, and Cal Poly, but fell short in their game against Santa Clara and in their second game against St. Mary's. Men's tennis spent their weekend in Arizona at the ASU Invite. After losing the first 2 matches against UC Santa Barbara and Rice University, they were able to take home a win against New Mexico with a score of 4-1. Women's tennis brought their winning streak up to 4 this week after a victory over the Montana Grizzlies and the Portland Pilots. And track and field was in Albuquerque this week at the Mountain West Indoor Championship. The women took 6th place with 38.5 points, and the men came in 3rd with 73 points. Now, if you've been counting, that's a total of 8 roses for your Utah State Aggies, and 8 for, well, everyone else. We'd also like to extend a rose to head football coach Blake Anderson and his family after the loss of their son. We at ATV News send our love and condolences during this hard time. You're all caught up on your Aggie sports. Back to you at the desk, Sarah.
Thanks, Annika. The Family Place supports struggling families. Leah Krishoni shows us how one of the ways they raise money can be pretty fun.
Tinkerbell didn't have her pixie dust, but the kids still felt the magic. Smiles lit up Castle Manor for this year's annual Family Place Princess Party. Organizers say this event is important because
we want all of the kids to be able to come, enjoy, to play, to meet all of the characters, and it's also part of our fundraising to be able to provide the services that we have at the Family Place.
Hello, would you like to make a treasure box?
the joy of making treasure boxes showed on their faces when they weren't getting painted, and the smiles on parents' faces.
Seeing how happy my girls are whenever they see all the princesses and all the activities.
This year, the Princess Party is inside Castle Manor, but last year, it was outside due to COVID-19 restrictions. And volunteers say they're happy it's inside this year, not only because it's warmer, but because they get to interact with the kids more.
We're so excited this year to finally be back in person and to be able to greet the children and to share this experience with them.
The kids actually think you're Cinderella, or they actually think you're whatever princess, and so it's really fun just to see their reactions.
Cinderella and the Prince led the royal dance to end the event. Organizers collected more than just money at this fundraiser.
My favorite part about the Princess Party is to be able to see the children's smiles, to see their eyes light up when they see you.
Leah Krishoni, ATV News.
The Family Place is celebrating their 40-year anniversary this year. And Emma, I remember last year, I think it was about a year ago, the Family Place held this same princess event, and I remember hearing about the event and seeing the videos from it, and they did it outside at the time because of COVID, and it looked cold.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I went to the summer one, and it's a similar event, but they had superheroes, and they were in their full superhero costumes, and they were just sweating in the heat. So it was nice that they could go inside to kind of cool down or warm up, but then they could also interact with the kids more a little bit too, which is nice to see.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks for joining us on this edition of ATV News.
You can find this and previous editions on our Facebook page.
We're going to leave you with some more shots from the boat races.
And have a great week, Cache Valley.